The Cinder Maid by Joseph Jacobs. Once upon a time, though it was not in my time or in your time or anybody else's time, there was a great king who had an only son, the prince and heir who was about to come of age. So this king sent around a herald who should blow his trumpet at every four corners where two roads met. And when the people came together, he would call out, "Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, now ye that his grace the king will give on Mondays tonight." That meant 7 nights, or a week after, a royal ball which all the maidens of noble birth are heraldly summoned. But it would be further known as into that is this ball is the highness of the king will select unto himself a lady that shall be his bride and our future queen. God save the king. Now there was among the nobles of the king's court one who married twice, and by the first marriage he had one daughter. And as she was growing up, her father thought that she ought to have someone to look after her. So he married again a woman with 2 daughters, and his new wife, instead of caring for his daughter, thought only of her own and favored them in every way. She would give them beautiful dresses, but none to her stepdaughter, who had only to wear the cast-off clothes of the other 2. The noble's daughter was sent to do all the drudgery of the house, to attend the kitchen fire, and had not to sleep, but heaped a cinder racket out of the scullery. And that was why they called her the Cinder Maid. And no one took pity on her, and she would go and weep at her mother's grave where she had planted a hazel tree, under which she would sit. You can imagine how excited they all were. They heard the king's proclaim called out by the herald. "What shall we wear, mother? What shall we wear?" cried out the 2 daughters. And they began talking about which dresses should suit the one and what dress they should suit the other. But when the father suggested that the Cinder Maid should also have a dress, they cried out, "What? Cinder Maid going to the king's ball? Why, look at her. She would only disgrace us as all." And so her father held his peace. Now, when the night of the dance came, Cinder Maid had to help the 2 sisters in their fine dresses, and saw them drive off in the carriage with her father and her mother. But she went down in her own mother's grave and sat beneath the hazel tree and wept and cried out, tree, O mine, with my tears I watered thee. Make me a lady fair to see, dress me in splendors as I can be." With that, the little birds on the tree called out to her, Cinder Maid, shake the tree. Open the first nut that you see." So Cinder Maid shook the tree and found the first nut that fell. Then she took upon it and opened it. What would you think that she saw? A beautiful silk blue dress as the heavens, all embroidered with stars and 2 lovely stones made of sterling copper. And when she had to dress herself, the hazel tree opened it, and came forth a coach made of copper with 4 milk-white horses, with her coachman and footmen all complete. And she drove away. The little bird called out to her, "Be home, ere mid-o' night, or else again you'll be a fright." The Cinder Maid entered the ballroom. She was the loveliest of all the ladies, and the prince who had been dancing with her stepsisters would only dance with her. But as it came towards midnight, Cinder Maid remembered what the little bird had told her, and slipped away to her carriage. And when the prince missed her, he went to the guards at the palace door and told them to follow the carriage. But the Cinder Maid, when she saw this, called out, "Missed behind the light before, guide me to my father's door." And when the prince's soldiers tried to follow her, there came such a mist that they couldn't see their hands in front of their faces, so they couldn't find which way the Cinder Maid went. When her father and stepmother and 2 sisters came home from the ball, they could talk of only nothing but the lovely lady. "Ah, would you not have liked to have been there?" said the sisters to the Cinder Maid as she helped them take off their fine dresses. "That was a most lovely lady with the dress of like heavens and shoes of bright copper, and the prince would only dance but none of her. And when midnight came, she disappeared, and the prince could not find her. He is going to send a second ball and hope that she will come again. Perhaps she will not, but then we will have our chance." When the time of the second ball came around, the same thing happened before. The sisters teased Cinder Maid and saying, "Wouldn't you like to come with us?" and drove off again as before. And the Cinder Maid went again to the hazel tree. over her mother's grave and cried out, "Tree o' mine, O tree o' mine, shiver and shake, dear little tree, make me a lady fair to see, dress me as splendid as can be." And then the little bird came on the tree and called out, Cinder maid, shake the tree, open the first nut that you see." But this time she found a dress all golden brown, like earth, embroidered with flowers, and her shoon was made out of silver. And when the carriage came from the tree, lo and behold, that was made of silver too, drawn by black horses and trappings of silver, and laced on the coachman's and footman's levers was also silver. And when the Cinder Maid went to the ball, the prince would only dance but none of her. And when midnight came around, she fled as before. But the prince, hoping to prevent her running away, had ordered soldiers at foot of the staircase to pour out honey on the stairs, so that her shoes would stick in it. But Cinder Maid leapt from the stair to stair and got away just in time, calling out as the soldiers tried to find her, "Mist behind, the light before, guide me to my father's door."